All
First
right,
of all,
let me see
George,
if I
thank
can.
you very much. Appreciate you
All right.
being here today. And, for all you do for the team, I know a lot of you do for your team, but you also do a lot for people that are part of the overall team, but not necessarily your downline. And for that, I thank you. I think that's very generous of you. And I really, really appreciate everything you continue to do for us as well. So having said that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to George. And whenever you're ready to just fire up share your screen, George, with the form. And
All
then
right,
we'll
let's do that. Just double check that you can see it. You see everybody see that form?
Yes, sir.
All right. So quick background on this, guys. This form was actually created because so many people struggle with the math. I know a lot of you got the PDF version, which is basically just a blank form. You got to do yourself. And one of the things I shared with Javier, and I walked away from all the auditions, was every single person, even the people that passed the audition, struggled with this portion of the math. The great thing about it is that you got an option. If you're good with math, I think it's very powerful if you can just write it down on a blank piece of paper and show them what their pension's going to look like, as long as it's accurate. If not, you can carry this on your laptop, on your phone. You can have this, and you can actually do the math right in front of them on there. And we even taught you how to do it online. But this is probably the most mobile that you can have because you don't need Wi-Fi to get to it. Now, a couple of things before we start going through an exercise. This is already pre-filled from a previous appointment that we had on there. Very, very important that you understand who you are sitting with. And I'm going to go ahead and do some, let's see, here is my annotations there. I'm going to do a little bit of drawing here. Very important that you recognize that who you're sitting with is a part of the pension plan. And with CalSTRS, we'll focus primarily on that, and also CalPERS, which is on the sheet, which I'll share. Excuse me. You got to make sure you understand, when this person was hired and which pension plan they're actually on. The majority of people, once again, that were hired after or January 1, 2013 or after are on this plan. As you can tell right off the bat, for them to get to the maximum payout factor, they're basically going to have to work to age 65. No bonus, no longevity bonus whatsoever on this. Now, this was changed under Governor Brown. Not that I want to make it political, but it wasn't just a change to CalSTRS. It affected CalPERS. It affected LaSera. It affected pretty much every California pension plan for a public employee out there was revamped, primarily for the very simple reason that the pension plan is underfunded. So getting back to this, 2% 62, that's going to be for your newer teachers. So you need to ask them what their hire date is. This one is the old plan. Okay. This is 2% at 60. Let me scroll down a little bit on this, and I'll clear all the drawings so you guys can see it better. So 2% at 60. Okay. And you got to practice this. You got to know who you're talking to. Once again, 2% at 60 is the old plan. Plus, it has a career factor, which means they get a bonus depending on how many years of service. And right here, okay, it's noted right here on the plan that they get a 0.2% bonus if they have 30 or more years of service credits. Okay, you got to add that in. So even if they say, "Hey, I want to retire at 60 years old," and you see right here that it's only 2%, you got to put that bonus in because essentially, and I want to go ahead and unmute yourself. Very simple. If they are 60 years old and they have 30 years or more service credits, what should that number be? Anybody? Any volunteers? And Kathy, you can volunteer too. I know you're on the call.
2.2. Oh, yeah, let somebody else, but I'll do it if
All right,
nobody
Stephanie, you get the cookie. Yes, 2.2 on there. Very simple. This is the reason I show this, and I'm emphasizing this because this is the one thing that this sheet will not do for you. You've got to make sure that you get this one particular item, this one number correct. Otherwise, your math is going to be off on there. Again, this is a calculation. It's not something that's going to make or break the deal. But the most important thing that you just don't want to be off. When I'm sitting there and I know this backwards and forwards, and I'm just etching what the payout percentage is supposed to be, and somebody's 40% off. I know right off the bat that their math is just plain simple wrong. So again, I want to make this as inclusive as possible. So I'm gonna call on you guys to kind of help me fill this out for you as I'm doing it as a good practice run. Again, before I move on to that, down here is CalPERS. This is pretty straightforward. There's no bonus, no nothing, no longevity bonus. It says, okay, when were you hired? Before January 2013? Great. Okay, you're going to reach your maximum at 63. You got 2% 55 and max at 63. If you were hired after January 1, sorry, bad news. You got to get all the way to age 67 before you max out at 2.5%. But you're not going to run into too many CalPERS people. But again, if you do, that reference point is there. All right, so this is Jane Doe. So I'll explain each one, and then we're going to go through a couple runs. She's 33 years old. Just fill that in the box. Okay. They currently have 10.5 years of service on there. Okay. And they want to retire at age 63. So we've already calculated that by the time they reach age 62, they're going to, let's see if this math is correct, 33, 62, okay? Basically, that's going to be 29 years of service. So that's going to put them at 39.5. Now, this was actually a CalPERS person, so I'm going to blank this out, okay? So if they have 39.5 years, 62, okay? They got, that they got 10 and a half years of service, okay? You can make an assumption, but if we are in 2023 and they only have 10 and a half years of service, what bracket do you think they're going to fall under for CalSTRS? 2% at 62 or 2% at 60? Anybody? Anybody? Come on, we're getting crickets here. Come on, guys. I know I'm making you guys think.
2013.
What's that? Go ahead, Anthony.
2013.
Okay, well, 10 and a half years of service, 2023, yes, 2013. Remember, it's 10 and a half years. So what should you be asking them?
When did they start exactly?
Exactly. So this is a little bit of a trick. If you see 10 and a half years, if you see 9, 8, 7, then it's pretty safe to assume that they're going to fall under the 2% at 62. Okay. But don't go in with that perception, because I actually ran an appointment for somebody who had, just on the numbers that she gave me, looked obviously that she was hired after January 1, 2013, but surprisingly, we found out that she had substitute taught a little bit in 2012, okay, which automatically put her into the 2% at 60. Okay, so very, very important. I can't emphasize it enough. Ask, when were they hired? When were you hired? So that we basically get an accurate calculation of what your pension is going to look like. All right, so 10 and a half years, and yes, that puts them into 2013 on there. After doing a little digging, it turns out that, yeah, they were hired after January 1. I think it was probably March of 2013. So they're going to fall under this bracket right here, 2% at 62. And so if they have 39.5 years, what is the number that you should have? Right here, 62, 2%. So that's what we're going to put in here. Okay. And very important, when you put the age factor, don't just put 2. I'll show you. If you put 2 in there and just hit enter, guess what? They're going to be at 200% on there. Your math's going to be all wrong. So you have to actually put in the percentage. So in this case, I'm going to put 0.02 there. And there you go. There's your 2%. Now, the way this sheet works, it's going to calculate everything else for you, okay, outside of their annual salary that you have to put in there. So again, 33, 10 and a half years of service, 62, they want to retire. They're going to have 39.5 years of service. They started very young. 2% is going to be their career factor that they're going to receive. And this will automatically be auto-populated. They're going to basically retire on 79% of their income. Now down here, you can play with this all day long. Okay, you can put 120,000. You can put, you can project it. This person's got another 29 years, and I know for a fact that they're already making over 70,000. So it's a pretty safe bet that they're probably going to be well beyond 100,000 in the next 29 years. Otherwise, something's drastically wrong. But you can put any number in there. And it's your choice. You can project the income to show what they're going to get, or maybe in this case, you use what their current income is. Sometimes I like to use this sheet to show them if you were to retire today with your current income, okay, with all these numbers in place, this is what you're going to do. Now, this is important, okay, because if you put 120,000, okay, they see 94,000 here as the projected gross, they might say, okay, this feels pretty good. But we put it in perspective and say, okay, you're currently making 72,000, and if you were to retire with that today, now your pension's only 56,880. Yeah, maybe not as good. Okay, and then it does the taxes for you. Okay, it uses a factor of 0.27%. Okay, so 18,000. Again, emphasize we are not tax experts. We can't predict what taxes are going to be in the future, but we're just going strictly off what taxes are today. It's just a number. So after we estimate the taxes and the net pension turns out to be 38,678, okay, that right here is going to be their net monthly pension here in the blue at $3,223. Now over here, I'm going to zero that out. I'm going to go back to how to use that as well. So let's say if they wanted to live off of 90%, 100% of their income, okay, you can actually put that number in there. And what you want to do there is basically take their current salary right here at 72,000. I'm going to do that on my calculator. We're going to divide that by 12. And then we're going to deduct our own tax at 0.27%. You take 27% out for taxes. Basically, for them to be, this is what should be pretty close to what they're currently getting. It should be $4,380 what they're saying. So this is what's going to do what? This is your gap currently, okay, which is roughly about $1,100. What is that going to do? That's going to put you in a position to solve that problem, okay, by either doing your IUL. Hopefully, you get enough income to suppress that, and that's easily about $12,000-$13,000 a year that you should be getting. With somebody this amount of time horizon, there's absolutely no reason they couldn't get at least, at minimum, $1,000 a month out of an IUL, even a small IUL. Your job is to try to over deliver. So if you can get them, 2,000, 3,000, you're going to have a very happy client that's probably going to move forward. All right, so I'm going to do a sample one for you guys, okay? But I'm going to ask you guys to give me some numbers. So anybody, okay? We're looking at Jane Doe. She's a teacher. Give me an age. Give me an age that you guys want to see. That could be anybody.
30.
Okay, 30. All right, how many years of service do you want them to have?
9.
Okay, 9. So it's a pretty good bet that they probably are on the new pension plan. And when do they want to retire?
$60.
Okay. All right. So now you got to figure this out. Okay. If they have 9 years of service, they're looking at 30 years before they retire. What should that number be now as far as their years of service?
39.
Thank you. All right. So now we established that they are on this plan over here, or at least we're making the assumption. Okay. We're just going to say, yes, they are 2% 62. Okay. So at 60, you guys take a look at this chart. What should go in this box right here?
0.0176.
0. Okay, thank you. 176. Exactly. So 1.76. And then the sheet does pretty much the rest of it. Okay. Here's their payout factor. The one thing that you want to be clear, we can project, we can make assumptions on their annual salary, what it's going to be. You can use current salary, but this payout factor, that's etched in stone. Okay. That's going to be the key point, is how much of a percentage of their income is there. So just for kicks, how much you want to put in for their projected salary? What would you assume that they would probably get? If they're making let's say they're making about 72,000, like you see there. Did you guys want to, somebody give me a projection number?
120. Stay with
I'm
the
gonna put 120
120.
in there. All right, and then the rest is pretty much done for you. You can turn around and show them what their gap should be. Here's 120,000. So based on these two numbers right here, the payout factor and the income, they're looking at about 82,368 before taxes. This box shows the tax that potentially is going to come out. And again, emphasize we are not tax experts. We don't know what taxes are going to look like in the future. We're just making an educated guess of what it is based on today's standards. And then this is going to be their net pension of 56,010, and that's going to give them their monthly pension. Now, as you can see, the retirement income goal stayed at the previous number. So if you want to do that, okay, and you want to show, okay, let's look at what your income gap is, okay. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna draw on this sheet so you guys can follow along on this. Okay? So I'm gonna let you guys do the math. If they want to retire, let's say they don't like this number here of 68, 64. Okay? Does somebody have a question? I keep hearing a beep, Javier. Is somebody on the line?
That's just them digging in. I'm letting them in.
Okay, you're leaving. Okay. So if they don't like this number of 68% and they'd rather see, let's say, 90%, okay. What's 90% of 120? Somebody get your calculators out. I want you guys to start thinking and doing the math.
$108,000.
Okay, so 108. Okay. Now, okay, that's basically the goal. They want to have 108. How much of that would go tax? Now remember, taxes, let's see, tax will be about 27%. Okay. So what's essentially 73% of 108K? Stephanie, I'm looking at you because you're on a roll right now. So I want to see 73% of 108K.
About seven,
All right, say that again.
around 78, 840.
78,000.
Almost just under 79.
Okay, let's just call it 79K. Okay, so 79K is what we're looking at for them to actually have as their net pension. So basically, it's going to be tied into that. Okay, so divide that by 12. How much is that per month?
About 6,500.
Okay, so let's put that in there. We're going to put in 6,500. Okay, now I'm going to scroll down, and voila. Now it's telling you you got an income gap of about $1,800 a month that you got to make up for. And now what have you done? You've created a little bit of a pain point. But now you got a number to shoot for that you could do either through a 403B, you could do it through an IUL, preferably because it's tax. Now again, this is still after tax. This whole bottom section right here, the little drawing, whole bottom section right here is all after tax money. Okay, so you can easily accomplish that with your IUL, maybe a Roth IRA, Roth 403B if it's available in the district. Okay, but $1,800 is the goal. Okay, so you want to be able to accomplish that through your calculations. Now, I'm going to do another one. Okay, so you guys can see how this works. Let me just go ahead and clear everything out. Let's do another scenario. All right, this time let's make a teacher that's a little bit older. Give me an older age. Maybe somebody you've run into.
35.
50.
50? Okay, that's good. A lot of 50-year-olds in the district right now. And I don't know, give me a year of service.
22.
How many years of service?
22.
Two. When do they want to retire?
62.
Okay. The 62. All right. So now, okay, they're 50. They got 12 more years. What should this number be down here?
34.
Yeah. Now, right off the bat, this is a no-brainer, guys. If they got 22 years of service, okay, they're going to have well over 34 years of service. You've done that calculation. 62. What should this number be at age 62? Just looking at these sheets over here.
2.2.
Okay. 1, 2. Anybody else?
I think it's 2.467 because they're gonna have in the 30
Okay, well,
30 years of service credit, right?
yes, they get, thank you. You got that part. They got 34 years. They're going to get that 0.2%. The other hint is they got 22 years of service. That means they started teaching probably in 2000, 2001. Okay. So they're going to be over here at 2% 60. The one thing I'm going to emphasize to you guys is this: they can't go beyond 2.4%. So it's not 2.467. Be nice, but 2.4% is the cap. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to put 2.4%, and we're going to put 0.024. Okay, there's your 2.4%. Now they're going to be retiring at 81.60. Okay, now they're 50. Maybe they haven't risen up on the tiers, but if somebody's 50, I probably tend to use their current salary because they're pretty close. They'll probably get a few more raises, but who knows what the economy is going to look like. So we're just going to basically change this number to the current salary. From my experience, a 50-year-old teacher in LUSD should probably be making about 94K in there. So we're going to put 94,000 in there. And now here's the projected gross income. Here's the 24,545 that's estimated for taxes. So they're going to net 52,158. And then there's their net monthly pension of 43.47. Most people are going to look at this and say, ouch, okay? I can't really live on that, okay? And a lot of it has to do because people just don't know. They just know, hey, I can retire at 55, 60. Yes, you can do that. The question is, can you live off that? Is that going to be enough? And us as Americans in this society that we're in, most people are just, living on how. I met with a teacher yesterday. And one of the questions I asked her, what do you think your tax bracket's going to be? What do you have? Guess what? She just refinanced. She's going to retire in the next 2 years, and she owes over $600,000 in a mortgage. So that's not going to go away. And when I showed her that she's probably going to retire somewhere about 70+% of her income, she didn't like that. So we're making some changes. We're trying to find some solutions for her. She has some money to transfer, and we're going to try to make up that income gap for her. All right, so let's take it one step further. Okay, 81% is what they're basically going to be looking at age 62. Okay, but they like 90%. In fact, they like 100%. So somebody give me a number. Okay, do your calculation. Let's say they do want, hey, I want 100% of my income. Okay, what is 100% of 94,000? 94,000. Take that tax out, okay, and then give me a goal for them to try to strive for. And it's important that you guys do this because this is what's going to put you in a position to provide a solution for them. So what number should that be? We got $94,000. She likes $94,000. She gets the tax. But what should her after-tax income goal be? Somebody give me a number.
5,300.
5,300? Okay.
5,335.
We'll just use 5,300. That's pretty close. So you put in 5,300. There you go. 900. She only has to make up about $953 on there. and very doable at 50. Heck, an IUL could do this if they're willing to pay at least 12 to 15 years of it, or continue to pay it. But that's literally $12,000 a year that you can subsidize. And if you can do it tax free through the IUL or a Roth, if they don't qualify for an IUL, you're golden. You've solved a major problem that's going to ease their fears going into retirement. So you want to do this. I know Javier's going to share this with all of you so that you have it. Play around with this sheet as much as possible and just get used to making sure you got the right numbers here. Okay. This is probably the biggest boo-boo that anybody could ever make, is just say, okay, I'm just going to pick a number randomly, or I'm going to just make an assumption there. And again, you just got to know that this is the cap at STRS. As you can see, it's both pension plans. Down here in CalPERS, cap is 2.5. Doesn't matter which plan it is. The most they're ever going to get is going to be 2.5% of their CalSTRS pension that they're going to receive off that. All right. Any questions, guys? It's 9:41. Anybody want to do one more? Or do you guys have any questions in particular, or do you guys want to see anything on this? Again, this is the time for you guys to practice. This is also the time to make mistakes as well. Anybody?
I'd like you to do one more.
Okay. All right. Give me some numbers then.
Okay. Current age 55, 25 years of service.
Okay.
Retirement age 63.
Okay.
I have to figure the next part out.
Yeah. Get a calculator.
Okay, hold on.
You can cheat, guys, with the calculator. Nothing wrong with using a calculator these days.
Hold on. 63 minus 55. Hold on. $33 years?
Perfect.
Okay, so
Answer that with a question, but yes, you're right. 33. All right.
okay.
So you got 25 years. Okay. What should this number be? First of all, I'll ask you, what plan are they on? The 2% at 62 or 2% at 60?
The one with the career bonus. They're
Okay.
hired before 2013.
Perfect.
So 60, where did it go? 63.
You guys see that?
Oh, it's the max right there, 2.4.
You got it. I'm going to have to change a thing. So now the rest is done for you. 79.2% is there. What they're going to see. What do you want to see for a salary?
Let's do the 120. Well, their current salary. Let's leave it at 94.
All right. That's simple. So 94,000. Here's their gross pension. Here's their tax. Here's their net. We'll leave the 5,300 since we're using the same number. Now 4219. Let's make sure this is correct. One of the little hiccups with this, you got to make sure you re-enter the number. So we'll put that 5,300 in there in order for this thing to do the math. And now when you re-enter the number, okay, now it's a little over $1,000, almost $1,100 a month. Okay.
Okay.
So again, this does a lot of the work for you, calculation. You still have to do some of it. And again, the basic thing, guys, you just got to make sure you know who you're sitting with. You ask the appropriate questions so you know which pension plan you need to do, and understand that both plans are capped. CalSTRS is 2.4%. CalPERS is at 2.5. Okay? Now there's a second page to this sheet, and it's completely optional if you want to use it or if you want to use the paper copy. But this primarily was designed with the areas of concern, and that's already here. Okay, so if you're doing a virtual call, I would say scroll down, ask them some questions. Hey, for your benefit, let's find out what you're most concerned about. And again, just like we do in the scripting, okay? These are concerns that our clients have expressed to us over the years. Help me out by just checking off 3 or 4. So let's say they said, okay, I'm concerned about that my family won't be able to maintain their lifestyle. Okay. Let's just say they don't have kids or the kids are already grown, so I'm gonna skip over that part. But they're concerned about the retirement savings. Okay. Here's the other one. I'm interested in reviewing my retirement plan for tax efficiency. And I don't have a plan to fund both medical costs, income in the event of chronic control. These are probably the most popular ones for people that don't have, or maybe aren't too concerned, or maybe it's too late to fund college plans. But quick note that I want to comment on this. Why, whether you use the paper one or you use the one in this file, okay, why would you want to collect these areas of concern? Anybody, any opinion?
So we can address them one by one with the client to show them what we can provide them and
Mhm.
put their worries to rest.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, when I sat down with some of you, this was created, 15, 16, maybe 20 years ago, by a big carrier. I forget. It might have been National Life for all I know. It's been that long.
National Life.
It was National Life. And it was actually with psychologists, okay, that were helping them put this stuff together that I found out. But here's the thing you need to understand why this is important. All these, every single item here is a potential objection. Okay? This is an objection that if you don't get it up front, they may throw at you later on and say, well, hey, I'm really concerned. You get them a 403B. Hey, I really wanted to look at tax efficiency or tax-free income. Or, you know what, I have a charity that I wanted to put that. You want to put all these things down so you can address them when you meet with them again. And again, it's very important that when somebody fills this out, you read these back to them on the first appointment so that they know, okay, we're on the same page. You've just told me everything you're concerned about, okay? And I'm going to address every single one. When you come back on that second appointment and you provide the solution, you go right back to it. This was taught to us a long time ago, okay? When you present IUL, whatever solution you provide to them, you make sure that it lines up with every single one of the potential objections. So if you're sitting down with somebody, make sure, hey, you were concerned that your family won't be able to maintain their lifestyle in the event of your death. Guess what? We just gave you that. Okay. You're concerned that your retirement savings plan won't meet your retirement income needs. Okay, this provides the income that we saw that you were a gap, so we're giving you that as well. You were interested in reviewing your plan for tax efficiency. This plan is tax free. So as long as you do it according and just borrow against it, you're never going to have to pay a dime in tax on this. So we've given you that as well. And I don't have a plan to fund both medical costs and income in the event of chronic or terminal illness. Well, the IUL, which I just showed you, provides all that. So we've given you that as well. Okay. So the whole reason in this is it tries to eliminate, it won't will eliminate every single objection, but you're certainly going to need to address and eliminate probably their primary objections that they've shared with you as well. Again, you guys want to do that every single time, whether on paper or in this file. You want to get that information. All right. Any questions? Any questions on this at all? From anybody? This is the time to unmute yourself and ask some questions while I'm still on. We still got about maybe another 5 minutes or so.
No.
Anybody have any questions? Maybe.
Yeah,
I know I'm cutting it close up.
they're gonna start showing up. But anyways,
All right.
well, if anybody has any questions, obviously this is the time to ask. George is not here doing the training on Saturdays too often, so again, it's up to you guys. If you want to ask away, unmute yourself. Don't text the questions, please. It's a lot easier. Stay off the chat and just unmute yourself.
Yeah, just verbally, guys. Verbally.
You guys are adding this to the specialized markets website so we can grab it, download it.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
What I'm going to do. Okay, George. Well, first of all, join me.
Got my share.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank George, and I'm sure everybody here thanks you as well, George, for this knowledge. And I'm telling you, this is as practical as it gets. It is being recorded. It will be in the back office. To kind of help you get ahead of the game. I just sent everyone a link where you can actually download the form right now and start practicing with it. And again, this is going to make your math easier if you practice, if you become familiar with it as well. Any questions from anybody? I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think that by Monday, I'll be able to announce a special event we're going to be holding in the city of Buena Park. National Life Group is going to fly out 2 people, including the VP, David Gilmore himself, and Ross as well, his sidekick. And they're going to be coming out here to do a special training on 2 things. Number 1, schools, 403Bs, and the NLG Advantage, as they call it. And the second component, we're going to be doing last minute preparations for the back to school blitz that we're conducting as well. Only 40 people are invited. That's one thing that they made very, very clear from NLG. And as always, we're going to start by prioritizing 2 sets of people. Number 1, the new people. We're going to give the benefit of the doubt to those that just came on board. We have quite a bit of 22 people, so 22 spots are automatically gone. And then we're going to go ahead and go to the producers, those that are producing or have produced. And if any seats are left after that, then that will give you the opportunity to go ahead and participate. And it is going to be a jam-packed power event. Starts at 9, runs till 9 to 1:30, I believe, and no break. It's just going to go straight through all NLG and all back to school and specialized markets material, not open to anybody in FFS, obviously no other companies, just 40 people in a big old room. And you're going to be looking around saying, we could have fitted another 40 people in here. That is true, but that's not what we're looking to do. And so we want to make sure that, again, we are focusing on those that are doing their part. So my recommendation, if you haven't put any points on the board, no apps, do it between now and as soon as possible. Because when the invitations go out, we're not going to send the team-wide email. We're not going to, blah, 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 none of that crap. We're going to just simply, like we did this past couple of events, production-based, production-based, and people that are actually plugging in as well. Any questions about anything from anybody? Unmute yourself real quick. Ask away, because we're going to wrap it up.
Javier, this is Alan.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, can you give me the date on that national
August
event?
You're on the list for sure. You personally, not the rest of your team yet, but you are. August 26th is what we're going to sign the contract, more than likely Monday. August 26th is a Saturday.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Go ahead.
I have a question. So is this for the 403B certification? Because I signed up for the online one. So do I need to not go to that one?
Not going to do the 403B certification. They're going to go over the 403B material, but it's not considered the NLG 403 certification. That's separate. All right.
Just that one. Okay. Thank you.
Keep that one. Keep that one. Okay. Anybody else? Anything? If not, I'm going to go ahead and clean this video up. It will be up and running this afternoon. I just want to say thank you for all that you do. And please, like always, don't take anything I say the wrong way. I just want to make sure that we are focused on the number 1 thing that matters, which is, of course, our results. And that's what I want to help you bring out the best version of yourself. And again, I'm actually asking you to do your part and, go out there and do what needs to be done. You know what needs to be done. It's just a matter of us developing the will within us to go out there and making it happen. So congratulations to Alan, to Kathy, Jeff Lynn, Mr. Hatter. I'm going to be having lunch with him next week. Next week, because he's actually visiting in town. And we got a lot of stuff coming, but it's intended for people that are, again, doing their part right now. We're not looking to take anybody from zero to hero. We want to enhance what you're already doing. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.